tiger.
Absolutely.
That should be somebody should come out to that every show.
That should be the rule, the Rocky 3 and the training montage.
They should do like a who gets to come out to that raffle
Absolutely.
with all the fighters at weigh-ins.
Sometimes I come out to it just when I get my coffee in the morning.
We should do an intro for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kim Winslow has our main event. We are in good hands. Flyweight title on the line.
Oceguada
right now
against Roberts.
No hand touching. You know, it seems like we're moving away from that in MMA.
I'm fine with that. I'm not too crazy about the hand touch, especially every round. I think do it after the fight.
Wow, Marcus slipped, but somehow managed to land on a very
Oceguada
full mount. He slipped and still somehow managed to spin Spencer.
Yeah, great body control there on that scramble.
Right where we are, he's totally slipped and wow.
You know, Oceguada showing some good control here, very aggressive. But
wow, full mount, ground and pound.
Gets the warning for grabbing the cage, though. Winslow right on top of it.
Sometimes you just can't help it.
You know, this is true.
That happens at the highest levels of MMA.
No, it's there. You want to, improve position. It's almost instinctive. Oceguada keeping top position here.
Yeah, he's hanging on tight. He wants to finish this fight in the first round. His last fight, that draw, was a heartbreaker for both him and Andre Mitchell.
Yeah, and they really fought their hearts out in that bout. It was tough to see.
Maybe Mitchell can get down to 125 and see a rematch between these guys.
Wow.
But Marcus is ruining that by going pro.
Right.
No offense, Marcus.
Mitchell making a title shot at 135, so a lot of talent here.
Yeah, I look forward to that being announced. He's being dominant on top.
And let's see if Roberts can get out. But
Spencer Roberts can't shake him. He just can't shake him, gives up his back. Body triangle locked on.
Kind of got it from the side here.
Definitely hanging off the side a little bit. I'm sure Spencer can feel that and knows not to roll into it. Yeah, he's holding on to his arm.
Oh, flattens him out
again.
And now we'll see if he drops the bolos or tries to work for the choke.
Yeah, he's just got to pick him apart with those punches.
Nice, doing a little forehand, backhand. I always like to see that.
That's getting more bang for your buck, you know?
Yeah, And
if you're going to throw the punch, you might as well have it hit something on the way back.
Yeah, usually unexpected. Now Oceguada trying to work in the choke.
That looks tight.
Wow, and he's really squeezing here. Kind of an unorthodox position to finish the rear naked in, but Roberts in all kinds of trouble here.
Yeah, it's going down over his chest. He's pretty safe at this point. 10 seconds. Looks like we're going to see his second round in this championship fight.
And nice to see that Oceguada lets go of the choke and just hammers at the body a little bit. Great round in the first round of our title bout.
What do you see? What do you see for Spencer Roberts here in the second round?
Well, I think he's got to come out with a statement here. Maybe land something big in the stand-up. I'm not quite sure how their wrestling matches up, but I think Roberts needs to land something big on the feet and change the momentum because he was dominated in that opening round. And Oceguada looks like he's very confident. Best way to take that away, punch the other guy in the mouth.
Well, Marcus has 12 fights to be confident.
Yeah.
He's been in there a few times.
Very experienced guy.
And, Marcus is always aggressive, and he's always once he wraps onto you, he's just so dominant.
The records, maybe a little misleading at how they match up. Oceguada 4-7-1, Roberts 4-1. You might think Roberts would be a better classifier, but not necessarily. That experience make Oceguada.
Oh, that's a lot of rounds.
Yeah, it's a lot of rounds and a lot of fights.
A lot of rounds he probably won.
And a lot of time to improve upon his mistakes earlier.
Couple big punches from Spencer. A little more stand-up than we saw. Wow, big overhand right. Marcus showing excellent head movement.
Great slip and counter hook. But Roberts catches the kick and drops Oceguada.
Now he gets to work from the top position for a while. Got him. See, Mark is doing the right thing. He's shrimping into his opponent's body. He's gonna have to be careful. Enough of those punches, and Kim standing right there.
And, you know, not a bad spot for Roberts here. You know, if he can keep it here, land effectively, he can win this round, and they'll be even up.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if he doesn't necessarily threaten as much or do as much
Sure.
damage, a round's a round.
Yeah. Mark is kind of kicking him away.
And once again, using
There's
an
a
active
triangle
guard
choke
here.
there. If that arm's out, and he can. Nope, arm in. Being up against a cage like that probably didn't help.
It's interesting. Oceguada using an active guard. Hasn't been able to stand up yet, but trying to threaten with sweeps and change of position here.
And Mark isn't taking much damage in this position.
Exactly.
Because I think Spencer's doing the right thing, keeping the top control and not trying to drop too many bombs and giving Marcus any wiggle room.
Yeah. I think he's felt that Oceguada's got a pretty well-schooled guard. He doesn't want to go too crazy and lose the position here. But you get the feeling Oceguada's setting up a sweep or to explode back up.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to make a little bit of distance to get out of there. He's not so much up against the cage anymore. He's
great
wow,
leg work by Oceguada here. Oh.
These are
Roberts dropping
this is a tricky
back for the
submission to
ankle
pull
lock.
off. Oceguada needs to turn. He's turning the right way. And, you know, he can wrap up his opponent's leg, and we have ourselves a little stalemate.
That's right. A little battle of the leg locks. And it'll be interesting to see if Roberts, I don't think he's got that.
He doesn't got it.
Ankle lock.
No, he's a little bit better.
And it seems to be slipping out here. We'll see if.
Oceguada is telling Kim Winslow, like, this doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Those elbows to the thigh can't feel good. Yeah,
And
he had to
Oceguada's
give that
out.
up. He was committed to a position that he wasn't going to get. And just like that, he wraps him up from the back. And this is how he won the bantamweight championship. Flattened out.
Oh.
Wow.
That's the best piece
What
of
a
news
round.
Roberts had.
Yeah.
He was in a bad spot there.
But you know, those leg locks and ankle locks, they are so hard to pull
It's
off.
a high-risk submission.
I've spent time in the
tough to
gym.
finish.
You can grab your opponent's leg and you both are turning the same way. And
Just tough to
you
finish.
don't want to stand up in them because that's how you make it worse. But you turn into your opponent, you can wrap them up, and a lot of times you can land in their half guard if you can sweep around fast enough.
Yeah, and I was surprised Roberts didn't go with the transition to a heel hook there when the ankle lock. Because sometimes when the ankle lock isn't right, you can transition to the heel hook. But
if he could have straightened him out a little bit and got his arm off and put it the other way and started twisting Marcus's leg the other way, turning his foot, getting his elbow outside of his foot, then you're in business. But that's just a position just to hold a guy in place.
And you know, the temptation to keep the ankle lock is it's hard for the guy to get out of. So you crank on it forever, but sometimes you can't finish it.
Yeah.
Whereas with the heel hook, when it hits, the other guy knows instantly.
Right. Well, I've just in my experience, I've known it's a tough submission to pull off.
Yeah.
And if Spencer would have pulled it off, that would have been awesome. But
did he win that round? Is the question.
I think he did enough.
I think he did. Yeah.
Marcus got the better of the last few seconds of it, but I'd say we're pretty even in this fight right now.
Wow. Right kick by Oceguada and a right hand from Roberts.
Wow, Roberts coming out on fire in this third round.
Oh, going for the inverted triangle there.
We're bound to see one eventually. Oh, boy.
Oceguada fishing for it. Wow.
That looks like it hurts.
Sort of a crossface.
What does he got to do in this position to pull something out of it?
Sort of an inverted neck crank.
Yeah.
Something.
Probably didn't feel good, but I highly doubt it would elicit a tap.
Yeah, but Oceguada really aggressive with the legs here. Very inventive. Nice spot here for Roberts.
Right where it needs to be, nice and close to the cage. He's got to get Marcus's arm out of there somehow. Now he's pin it down, get it with his leg maybe.
It's interesting, Spencer's kind of got him here trying to get the arm, basically go for a basic neck crank.
Schoolyard headlock. Spencer's corner is screaming at him to get the back of the elbow. Marcus's arm is well pinned.
And does he need to turn the head to an angle and crank this here? What's the best
I
way
don't.
to finish
It looks
that?
like he's just pulling it up to him, which I don't see.
You know, he might as well just pound away.
He's committed to a submission that I don't. It doesn't necessarily look like he's in position to pull off.
I think with Oceguada's left arm, he's got enough leeway to kind of prevent that from.
Oceguada weathering quite a storm in the last couple of rounds with these
flexible guy.
submission attempts.
Oh, he's tapping.
He got a tap from
Great.
It was his shoulder.
Basically, I think that was a modified neck crank.
It looks like maybe his shoulder. He was pointing at his shoulder.
I think that was an inverted crucifix neck crank. Would that be accurate terminology? Sort of the crucifix, but inverted because he was on the chest, and the neck crank. Always see something new here.
Yeah, that's
at Ultimate Reno.
Interesting. What a night we have a new featherweight champion.
Spencer Roberts.
Sitting here doting on what just happened. Let's give Spencer some love. Spencer Roberts, the flyweight champion of Ultimate Reno Combat. Wish him a long and storied, career here with the strap. Hopefully
really
Marcus is okay. He was pointing at his shoulder, and unfortunately that's the last time we'll see Marcus in this cage.
You know, and a great showing by Marcus. He came out big in the first round, and Roberts came out, and really to Roberts' credit, he couldn't get the submission in the beginning. He kept working for it, and trapped the right arm of Oceguada and just sort of nailed that neck crank and takes a 125-pound title.
Wow.
Sponsored by Blood Happens. Noy Jr. Lopez.
Can't remember the last time I've seen that submission.
And fight tonight was Adam Cruz and Michael O'Leary.
I didn't get any of those.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute 52 seconds of round number 3, referee Kim Winslow stops this bout for your winner by tap out of the blue corner, and the new Ultimate Reno Combat Flyweight Champion, Spencer Roberts. All right, Spencer, congratulations. Came back from a tough first round, got the victory, and you got the belt.
I love it, man. That first round was tough. I kept going and took a beating, but I loved every minute of it.